Now, I already covered this on my livestream channel, but since I know a lot of you don't follow me there, I decided to make an exception and cover it here as well, because it is such a mind-boggling news. Like, it's so bewildering that hopefully at least some of you can tell me what is going on, because I literally just can't wrap my brain around this. It is so bizarre. So the story involves this lady by the name of Brittney Griner, who is an American basketball star for the women's team. And she traveled to Russia, where she was found having pot. Now, she's not denying having it, and her legal defense also said that, yeah, she did have it, but she didn't know the laws. And I just want you to understand, like, this is not the first time she goes to Russia. Like, here in Eastern Europe, do you know when Joe Biden was promoting the war on drugs, right? Like, we have that here, but on steroids. I mean, the authorities take drugs very, very seriously, and the punishments are quite severe. And at least here, it's kind of working. When I was in high school, I never knew anyone that was doing drugs. I was never being offered any. I'm not saying that they don't exist or that they're completely eliminated from society, but they are incredibly rare. And again, like, this is because Eastern Europe is very, very tough on crime, especially when it comes to drugs, and other people do not sympathize with the people that do them. Like, there is no sympathy. Like, okay, you did it, you go to prison. Right? Like, that is the mentality here. It's like, if you didn't want to go to prison, why did you have them, right? Like, there are human beings capable of abstaining from having drugs. I know this is bizarre for an American, but like, here in Eastern Europe, that is our mentality. And it's the same in Russia. Now, you also need to take into account that Russia right now, from the perspective of the United States, is a hostile nation. And she knew about this. Like, she traveled to a hostile nation. I mean, sure, it's not at war, but the relations aren't very good. And instead of, like, reading what the legislation is and figuring out, like, what she did, no, she carries pot. Okay, so now she's being accused of drug trafficking. Whether she intended to sell it or not, I do not know. Okay, like, maybe you can argue that the verdict was a little bit too severe because she didn't intend to sell it and she just wanted to have it for her personal use. Whatever. The problem is, like, she had something in a country where she wasn't allowed to have it. It's kind of like going into Saudi Arabia with alcohol and then saying, oh my God, well, I'm getting lashes. Yeah, you are, because, like, that's the law there. You chose to go there. Like, no one forced you. You didn't go to sleep one night, and then the next day it's like, holy shit, the border of Saudi Arabia has snuck up on me. Now I'm in this foreign land, and I have booze on me. What am I going to do? Right? No, like, when you travel abroad, especially when you travel to a nation that's unfriendly, you're supposed to make absolutely sure that you're going to follow all of their rules, all of their regulations, right? So, she didn't. So, she got accused, she got trialed, and she's going to get 9 years in a Russian jail. Now, it's interesting because a lot of people on the Twitter who are like, eat the rich, arrest the bourgeoisie, now that they see a rich person in a Soviet jail, they're like, well, no, not like that, not like that, right? So, everyone is upset about this, and everyone is, you know, like, wishing her the best, which is kind of something that I understand, right? I mean, she is an American citizen, so I guess, like, American citizens are upset that this is happening. And now the President of the United States has decided to help this situation out. And how is he going to do it? With a prisoner transfer. Okay, you know, like, prisoner transfers have happened throughout human history. It's not something new. Usually it involves members of the military. Usually it involves members of the Secret Service, spies and stuff. You know, it's like, okay, well, you caught our spy, we're going to give you your spy. Like, that type of thing, right? But no, like, this is just an athlete, and she's going to get a prisoner transfer. So who is the United States going to transfer in order to get her back? Well, apparently they're going to get Viktor Bout. So who does the United States consider would be an acceptable trade-off? Like, what type of criminal from the US should be given in exchange for this lady? Viktor Bout, chat. Viktor fucking Bout. The Lord of Death. There an actual movie made after this guy. Like one of the worst arms smugglers in US recent history. A person that was okay with killing American civilians, like serving only half of his sentence. In the enlightened mind of the American leadership, they think that this is a good deal. Now, again, I don't know much about economics, but if they do this with prisoner transfers, I dread to think when it comes to anything involving actual cash, like actual money, actual finances. Like, this is the government that takes taxes away from you and spends your money. If this is what they consider to be even a remotely, should I speak their language, equitable deal, I am left completely baffled. Like, I want to do business with these people. Like, I want to do business with Joe Biden. I want to trade with him. I want to do economic transactions because he seems like a person that's very gullible. Like, he doesn't know how to negotiate properly. If he's going to give Viktor Bout, Viktor fucking Bout, for the NBA player, like, do you not have anything else to give? Like, is he the only like, surely there must be some prisoners that are of Russian ethnicity in American prisons that have committed less crimes, and you can say, well, yeah, okay, like, this would be a more adequatable trade. Holy fucking shit. And again, like, the thing is, like, she actually did it. Like, it's not like a person, like an American citizen that's being persecuted in Russia for not committing any crime. Like, no, her legal defense admitted, like, she had pot. Like, she actually committed the crime. So, I just, like, this is what, the Merchant of Death. Like, look at this. The Merchant of Death. Convicted in 2011 on charges that included conspiring to kill Americans and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Last week, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov discussed a proposal that Blinken said involved Griner and Whelan, as well as Viktor Bout. The Merchant of Death. You know, like, this is very interesting because the Russians, they disavow, like, they say, well, we have no connections to him, but they really want him. Like, they really wanted him for the last decade. They wanted him badly out of American prisons. Well, now they might get him. You know, at least get like 6 or 7 other Americans. At least make that deal, you know? Like, this guy is like, imagine playing chess and you're trading the queen. Like, at least get a couple of knights and a rock, you know? Like, just try to compensate so it's somehow an equitable and sustainable deal, right? Like, sustainability. I'm just, what's so more interesting is that when this man was in prison, he said that this is not the end. Like, there's going to be more. Well, apparently, he may be right. Like, he's getting off a lot earlier than he should. Not for good behavior, by the way. Oh, my God. This is just... I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. Maybe, like, the only explanation is that the basketball player was a spy. Right? Like, maybe she was a CIA operative sent to infiltrate the Kremlin. And now they want her back. Because, like, she's so valuable that you're going to trade, you know, like, someone that's this higher up. Muy bizarre. That's what I have to say. Muy bizarre. Let me know what you guys think, though. And I'll see you in the comment section. Do you think this is an equitable trade? I'm really curious.